What's up, guys? It's Philbo, and we are talking about the Lacrima today. What is the Lacrima? It's a way to get more stats to make your character more powerful, so we got to get it. How are we going to do that? I'm going to tell you. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to do, so let's go. All right, guys, so the first thing we're going to need to get our Lacrima is what's called a third eye. The third eye can be acquired by running mist burners. So this right here is a mist burner. You're going to activate it when you see it in a dungeon. They can spawn in normal dungeons. It doesn't matter, any dungeon. So what it's going to ask you to do is it's going to ask you to feed it charms. Feed it as many charms as you can to get the sacrifice level up to max. You want that to be to max because you'll get this higher duration on Guide of Illusion. Having it up longer is going to allow us to kill more of the mobs that can drop the third eye. So max it out. Okay, guys, now that we've got our sacrifice maxed out, you can see that our Guide of Illusion duration is much higher. It's at 270, and we are going to activate. What you will notice when we activate is that the map is going to get kind of shadowy and foggy. You are going to want to kill all the mobs because every single mob has a chance to spawn a dark portal. So you're going to see it in just a second here. A dark portal, you notice right there, just popped up. Those are the mobs you want to kill. They all have an opportunity to drop the third eye. They're also going to drop links of unity, and you need the links of unity in order to make your Lacrima. Something else that you should be doing is make sure you clear every single pack of trash because it's fairly random where these portals spawn. I've seen them spawn one after the other with mobs, and then I've also gone almost like half of a dungeon without seeing them. So clear every single mob in the entire dungeon for more opportunities to kill these illusions. Okay, one more thing to note here. Sometimes you're going to see a red portal pop open like that. The illusion of slaughter is going to pop out. They have a very high chance to drop the third eye. So make sure you're getting him down before the timer runs out. Also, I've gotten a third eye maybe every third or fourth run. So that seems to be what I've gotten. And then also other folks I've talked to have gotten about that same drop rate. But keep at it and you'll eventually get them. Okay, now that we have our third eye, we need to look for another mist burner in another dungeon. You're going to find the mist burner and you're going to have the option to put the third eye in. So you're going to place the third eye in. It's going to say it creates a portal that leads to the time of confrontation. And what you're going to do here is you see that you have the option to grow the sacrifice level again. So we're going to feed it full of charms again. All right, we have fed it full of charms. It's at max. The reason we're doing this is because we're giving it more levels. If we didn't increase the sacrifice, we would only have 5 levels to go through. So we're increasing it to 25. This means we're going to have more mobs. These are the mobs that drop our Lacrima. The other reason that we're doing this is because as our sacrifice effect goes up, our Lacrima's gear absorb rate goes up by 20%. Think of this as like a higher quality Lacrima. So it's going to make our Lacrimas better. So that's the other reason we do it. So we're just going to activate now, and it's going to create a portal to the time of confrontation. All right, so we activate. It opens the portal. We're going to go in the portal. This portal, what you're going to see is waves are going to come after you, one after the other. These are the 25 levels. It's 25 waves, basically. You're also going to notice up here on top, there's this sort of gauge that's kind of moving around outside. If this reaches all the way around, the time of confrontation is going to end, and any wave that you have not gotten through it's gone. You're not going to be able to kill them and potentially drop more Lacrima. But these are the mobs right here that are going to drop the Lacrima. They're also going to drop link of unities. So you just want to make sure that you're taking them out. They're not very difficult. In my opinion, they're easier than the actual chaos dungeon mobs. So you should have no problem. And by the end of this run, you will have quite a few Lacrima. So that is it. And we're going to get to the Lacrima part next. All right, guys, now that we have some Lacrima, we're going to go to the Lacrima statue. It's the final piece. And what you'll see here is we have some Lacrima on the side from our time of confrontation run. You can get magic level Lacrima, rare, and then even unique. On the rare and the magic Lacrima, you can get 1, 2, or 3 dots on the side, which represent gear slots. Okay. So if we are looking at my Lacrima, you'll see that it has 2 gear slots. One is magic quality, one is rare quality. You'll also see that it has a percentage next to it. This percentage is called absorption rate. And basically what it means is whenever you put this Lacrima in here, you can then slot in the piece of equipment that is on the Lacrima. Okay. You can slot it in and you will get 50% of the Lacrima stats. So not every single stat on a piece of gear or equipment is eligible for the Lacrima. And the way that we check for that is there's this Lacrima filter. So you can click this and you can see everything that is eligible for the Lacrima. If I look at my glove slot, you can see, okay, everything here was eligible except for this stat right here. So we're going to get back to the percentage real quick. Again, we talked about the absorption rate on here. The one-handed weapon absorption rate is 50%. That means the 2 stats that are eligible for the Lacrima, I get 50% of that. So this 0.64 HP absorb on attack hit is going to be 0.32%. It looks like they rounded me down on the intelligence. Go figure. So that's that. A couple other things I want to point out on a Lacrima is this 20% right here. This is why we boosted up the sacrifice for the time of confrontation run with the third eye, because this right here makes our absorption rate higher. So this percentage right here is higher because we got a higher quality Lacrima. So keep that in mind. You're also going to note that there is this Castor up here. This is a blessing or one of the authorities. And you'll see that there is the blessing down here, this 46%. This is saying that you need to have a blessing of at least 46% with Castor. Where do we get our blessing from? Our blessings come from our charms. So you can see I have 140. I have 140 blessing. Therefore, I have enough blessing for this Lacrima to work. Some of these other ones, I don't. I don't have Alyssa's blessing at 41%. I cannot use this. One other thing to note, the level of your Lacrima matters. So you have a Lacrima this Lacrima is level 131. I cannot put any equipment into this Lacrima that is 132 or higher. It has to be at least the level of the Lacrima or lower. So keep that in mind when you're running for Lacrima. If you want higher level gear, you got to run higher level dungeons with your time of confrontation to get a higher level Lacrima. So that's about all there is to it. We talked about magic, rare, and then there's even unique Lacrima. So point that out. Not every single unique has a Lacrima available for it, but there are some, and you can get some pretty seriously good effects from these. So those are available. The way that you are going to put the Lacrima in is you're just going to slot it in. So if I wanted to slot this Lacrima in right here, I would just right click it and I would be able to replace it. Now, since I already have a Lacrima in here, if I did that, what would happen is I would destroy these two pieces. Now, if I wanted to keep these two pieces, there's an option for that when I go to swap out. So if I go to swap out and I hit recover and change, what will happen is it will allow me to keep these pieces of gear, but it's going to charge me rubies to do so. So keep that in mind. And whenever you are going to register, so if I wanted to just register a new pair of gloves here, let's say I found a better pair of gloves. Let's pretend these are better. I could right click this and slot it in, or I could recover it here as well. This is where those link of unities come in. Whenever you go to slot in a piece of gear into your Lacrima, it's going to charge you these links of unities, but you get plenty of these whenever you're running for your third eyes. All right, guys. Well, that's basically all there is to the Lacrima. Might seem like a little bit right now, but after you do it a couple times, it becomes fairly straightforward. So if I've missed anything or if you got any more questions, just drop them down in the comments and I'll get back with you on it. If it's helped you out, a like and a subscribe would be amazing. But it's time to get back to the grind, boys.